take people aside and say, I think you need a little help. So that's something I personally emphasize and I believe in.
Has anyone worked with Deputy Myron come forward and said that they tried to do that? Was anyone aware of his problems?
I have not heard anyone, and again, we're talking about a fairly short time frame. Maybe we'll hear about that later. I haven't heard about it so far.
I understand he won some commendations.
I took a quick look at files over the past 11 years. He has 11 simple commendations. I think there are a number of awards as well that I didn't access. He has one sustained complaint. It was for courtesy. We expect people to be courteous. If they're discourteous or are found to be discourteous, they can be disciplined, and a written reprimand was issued. And this was, I think, 2004 when this took place.
And more details for that, he got in a verbal match with some boys, younger boys, at a call and said some foul words while arguing with some boys, and a third-party lady overheard it and complained, and he said, yeah, I probably used inappropriate language, and that was it. That's the only thing that's negative in his file.
So if you're asking about, is this person been a disciplinary issue? No, the 11-1 in 11 years, plus some additional awards I haven't checked on, that is not the case.
So his record looks
The record was good, yes.
Any issues of anger, management problems?
Not that I've seen, and again, we will be looking further and deeper into that, but I don't have that before me.
Sheriff, I asked earlier about emotional evaluations. I know you do that before you hire somebody, but do they get regular evaluations on the job?
If it is found to be necessary, so we don't pull people aside and randomly, if you will, do evaluations on them. If there is cause, we will look into stepping forward and doing that. Again, that needs to be done in a legal way, in a way that's consistent with contract and law.
There's no indication that was done in this case.
Correct.
You said yourself you're not PC, and I think this email definitely backs that up. I know a lot of sheriffs would put out a different type of message.
What message would they put out?
Well, maybe something like, investigations ongoing, will hold back on comment. Why come out this strong about somebody who, a week ago was a coworker?
Because we believe this man stepped over a line. I think I said earlier, he wore a badge, was somebody that people could look to as a protector, as someone they could call for help. And then, as I said in this email, he changed. He made a choice. He decided to be a criminal and not a protector. And thank you, we exist to protect people from criminals, even if they go from protector to criminal. So that angers me, and I think it angers all of us.
When you're in D.C., you got word of this. You had to say, when you heard it was an officer or a deputy involved, and it was Gig Harbor, you said you got to be kidding me. When the roles were reversed last time, it was you and Tacoma Police in opposite roles. So,
Yes.
I mean, Gig Harbor and murder-suicide, just...
Both of these are terrible things. And yes, my initial, if you've heard that my initial impression was disbelief, it absolutely was. Because I look to people, I work with people with badges on, who we entrust with protecting people. It is not acceptable for them to become criminals. And if that's not politically correct, I'm sorry, that's what I believe.
What was the last day that Myron worked?
I'm not sure, although I have heard, and again I don't have great detail, that he went out on a sick leave halfway through a shift on, I don't know if it was Thursday or Friday.
We're still investigating. He went home halfway through the day, either that day or the day before. Tacoma Police Department has those records, and that'll be part of their investigations. Maybe there was a trigger there or something led up to it. We just don't know that yet on our end. Tacoma Police Department, you know, the big thing to realize here is Tacoma Police Department has obtained a ton of evidence, a ton of documentation, a ton of items from the house, but they haven't had a chance to analyze it yet, as well as going through our records, call records, and it's just a ton of material, and until they can get through it, we can't really speculate on it or comment on it until they've told us what they've got.
But you're confident that the victim really is the victim, the father-in-law, because there's this argument that whatever the argument was about, that the deputy was indeed the aggressor on it and had no reason other than an argument to take lethal force.
We believe at this time that 2 murders occurred and a suicide occurred. And the 2 murders involved Alan Myron's father-in-law and mother-in-law. And the suicide that occurred involved Alan Myron committing suicide.
That'll all have to be confirmed by TPD because they're still working on making positive identification today of Alan Myron. But there's nothing leads us to believe that it's not him. They're going to be